And I see some new faces. I see Nick and I see Scott. And let's see, Susan is here and Simone and A.L. Cool. Anyway, this style of yoga that I teach is something that I created about 20, well, what's 2021 minus 2003? I'm terrible at math. Is that 18 years ago? Okay. But I've been in the yoga world for about 40. This is actually information. I'll leave it up here. I do teacher trainings. If you're interested in finding out about our teacher training, grab one of these flyers. They're free after class. And those of you that missed last week, come up if you want to. Come up afterwards, and I'll give you a free class at the Yoga Center. It's over there on Green Acres Road, and you can just come and bring your card with you and take a class from. We have a very diverse group of teachers available for you and different times. Actually in January, if you're early risers, not me, 5:30. It's called Wake Up Your Asana. Pretty funny, huh? So I just got back from New York City last night at 1 a.m. So I've been in Brooklyn since I was here Wednesday, flew out Thursday morning, see my daughter and son-in-law and walk all over the city and do a bunch of really cool stuff. So glad to be back. Oh yeah. It was really wonderful. And we had great weather. I was blown away. So it was like this or as nice or nicer. So, all right. So we'll begin our practice. You can sit. There's multiple ways to start. I always sit on a little blanket or up on a block. I like to raise my hips higher than my knees, but we don't have all those props. So when you come for your free class, you'll get all those props to use. And or sit with your legs straight out, or sit with your legs like this, or lie down, or whatever is going to serve you to sit for a few minutes and settle in. I call it settling in, bringing your awareness to here, to this space. And so we're starting Bryant. I don't know if he sees me, but with our breath. VariYoga means one journey, many paths, and not one size fits all. So you're all on a different path in this journey of life. And our paths change. So, and sometimes we're thrown a curveball, a good one, or sometimes I don't want that. And our first way to handle those is through our breath and our being present. So what I invite you to do is, if you feel comfortable closing your eyes, do that. If not, just gaze down at your mat with a soft gaze without trying to focus on anything in particular. And then with that awareness, start to notice your breath coming in and going out. Last week I invited you to think of a mantra. One I use is when you breathe in, be present. And when you let go, when you breathe out, the words let go. And you can think in that way in the sense of be present to yourself in this room, to the space around you, to the other bodies in the space, the two-legged and the four-legged, to how you took your seat. And as you're then letting go with the exhales, it's letting go of judgment, of getting it right, of what am I going to do in this class, of worry. So I look at the breath too as like waves on the beach. When the breath and wave comes in, you're taking an inhale. When the waves go out, taking an exhale. It's a dance. You just keep settling in. Move your bodies if you need to. I'm not a believer, I've been meditating for a long time, I'm not a believer of staying rigid. If you have to move, move. Just come back. The mind will go crazy and then come back. The mind will go one way and come back. So I look at the mind too as a radio. We want to dial it into the messages from the universe or the energy of the universe. And we all have different vibrations. You know, resonating. You know that probably when you meet somebody and you really resonate with them. There's something about that. So first, just start with yourself. Resonating with yourself. And this is a class of asana, so we settle in with our breath and then we begin to move. So I invite you on your next exhale to slowly bring your chin down, your head forward. You're not trying to get your chin to your chest. You're just moving it in that direction, releasing the back of the neck. And notice as you tipped your head forward, did you, by chance, just notice, did you clench your jaw? Did you tighten in your neck? And the neck might get tight just because you're putting the head forward and the neck muscles, the scalene muscles are going, okay, can't let this head drop to the floor. I'm going to engage here. Just relax everything else, the jaw, the face. And then bring your head back up. Let's all turn our gaze to your right. I'm going to mirror you, so you're going to look over to your right, keeping your shoulders right over your hips. So we're not trying to move the torso, just the neck and the head. Very good. And then turn the head back to center, and we'll turn to the left, keeping the chin parallel with the floor. Just noticing your neck muscles. And then turn back to center. Let's do that again, a little bit faster. Just turning, when you get to your range, how far as you can go, then turn back to center. And then go the other way. So I invite you to do that 2 more times to each side. Just taking your time and your pace. I like to invite people to find out what their rhythm is. So one of the reasons I went to New York City is my daughter's a musician and her husband's a musician, and they had a concert that we got to go to. There, they play all kinds of music, and currently this is her right now playing, piano player. Inhale, lift our shoulders to our ears, and exhale back down. Inhale, lift up, and exhale back down. And one more time. Bring them up. Good. Nice. Shoulders are down, away from the ears. Now we'll do something here for a little deeper stretch for the side of the neck. Take your left hand out to the side. Very good. And then just tilt your head over to the right. And you'll probably feel this right down the left side of your neck. We have muscles, ligaments, tendons, and then we have a soft tissue called fascia. I want you to slowly lift your hand off the floor, not very far. Once you've lifted, imagine you're trying to stretch your arm out further, trying to reach your hand down to the floor, and then let the head release. And you might feel some more tightness or some reaction in your neck. And then we're going to tip the head back and forward. Remind yourself to relax your jaw. Relax the right shoulder too. You're just working the left side. Good. And then we'll set our left hand to our thigh. Use your right hand, push it up, head up. And let's go to the head to the left. We hold a lot of tension in our neck and shoulders. It's more logistical tension, like sitting at the computer, driving in your car, but just thinking and moving, and that tension gets caught in our neck and shoulders. So we're extending out through that right hand, releasing the head to the left, and then you just move the head to the back, the plane, and to the front. Call this the front plane of the body, the back plane. and pause with your chin. Your ear right over your left shoulder, hand to your thigh. Push your head back up. Good. We'll move right into the first warm-up of our series. So I wrote a book, and we have about 14 sequences there. This one's called Sukhasana. You're sitting in a pose called Sukhasana. It moves our spine in 6 natural directions. And I promised somebody last week that we will get to some standing poses today. Inhale, raise your arms up. Yeah. Turn the palms away from each other. And exhale, bring your arms down. Nice. Then we turn the palms up. This helps you integrate your shoulders. Raise your arms up. And then turn the palms, yep, and exhale. Nice. Let's do that one more time together. Raise the arms up. And bring them back down. So this time you're going to raise your arms up. Leave them up for a second. And turn your torsos to your right, twisting that spine. And let the hands come down. Right hand behind you, left hand to your right knee or thigh. Using the back hand, so the back hand's going to come to the floor, and the right hand's going to go, the left hand's going to go to your right knee, yep, or shin, and then we're just turning to look over that right shoulder. Good. This is a spinal twist. Beautiful. I like to encourage people to use their right arm to like a kickstand, so you can keep your spine as upright as possible. And then we'll inhale, raise the arms back up. Then exhale, take that same twist to your left. Keeping the left hand in close, keeping your spine nice and straight. Relax the shoulders. It's like you're sitting right on the tip of your sit bones. Letting your pelvis tilt forward a little bit and get that nice length in your spine. And then we'll create a little Vinyasa, and Vinyasa just means flowing with the breath. So we raise the arms up, and we'll do a move to the twist again to the right as you exhale. Finish your exhale, and come back to center on your inhale. That's it. And then take that same move to your left, exhaling. And when you finish that exhale, ready to take the breath in, come back to center. So try that 2 more times to each side, letting your body twist as you exhale. Letting your body turn back to center as you inhale. You can close your eyes, you can find your own rhythm. Kind of like we're dancing. And don't rush. If one person's faster than you or slower, we'll all meet back in the middle. Hands to your knees. Very nice. The next move is a side bend, so we can move our spine sideways. So what I want you to do is to put your right hand at the floor. The first thing I want you to be mindful of is this shoulder. What happens sometimes, and it's just, we do this. We lean over and then we jam the shoulder into our head, like this. So what I want you to think about is not letting the shoulder come up, but being long and releasing. Take the arm out and then you start to lean over. If you want to get a little deeper stretch, just bend that elbow. Yeah. So everybody's going to be different. And the other side of that, too, is you want to keep this leg, your left sit bone, on the ground. So you're not doing this. Well, you could, maybe. Ooh, that'd be a big opening. All right, so here we are. And then we take the left arm up, get a little more side stretch. And then what you can do is either let the left arm reach over that left ear or bend the elbow and hold the back of your head. You decide. So try, experiment. This is why we call VariYoga. We vary it. We do little varieties. This is one. This is the other on this one. And breathe. Mindful to keep reminding your right shoulder just to relax. Putting more weight in the hand. Support. There you go. And then as you inhale, come up and take it over to your left. Reach out with that left hand, relax the left shoulder, reach the right arm overhead, or hold the back of your head with your hand. So my daughter lives in Brooklyn, and she used to live near Park Slope, now lives in Kensington. But we were sitting there going, how many people are in Brooklyn? There are just about as many people in Brooklyn as there are in the state of Arkansas. Oh, there's a lot of people in New York City. Whoa. Yeah. All right, so let's start a flow. Inhale up. Exhale over to your right. And inhale back up. And exhale to your left. Beautiful. Now do that 2 more times, following your pace, your rhythm. That's it, exactly. Exhaling over. We're doing that side bend, creating space for our side bodies. We have a lot of lungs that go all the way down to into our lower ribs. This gives movement to those, that part of our lungs. Good. Yeah. And finish to your left side. Once you've done that, don't rush it. Just take your time. Bring your hands down to your knees. We'll pause here. So another movement for our spine is a forward bend and a back bend. So a back bend is considered what's called the extension of the anterior spine, the front of the spine. So as we tip our hips forward, you create this deeper little curve in your lumbar, lifting the chest, lifting the chin. That's an inhale. Then when you tip the hips back and you create sort of a C curve for your spine, that's an exhale. We spend most of our days in a forward bend. And we were born in a forward bend, coming out of the womb. We were in the womb in a forward bend. So it's pretty easy for people to do. And your back bend. Think about originating it in the pelvis. So if you weren't even going to move the shoulders or the head, you could actually get that back bend movement and rounding just by tilting your pelvis. Very good. Get that movement going. Helps create more circulation into your lumbar spine. Great. All right, so come to neutral. Let's lean back. Take your legs out in front for me. Ooh, release those knees. And swing your feet side to side. Good. So one thing is we can move our legs in many different directions too, but just show you something here. Take your heels to the edge of your mat. And you can use your hands to support you so you're not tiring your spine. Roll your feet out. And then roll your feet in. And just notice for yourself, is an outer rotation of the thighs and the legs easier or inner rotation? No judgment, just notice. It might be they're both the same. Think about creating that rotation from up here in the hip, in the femur bone. Good. Okay, then just bring your feet a little closer and just do them both the same direction. Windshield wipers. Yeah. Good. And then come to neutral. Let's come on to our hands and knees. You probably don't have a blanket, but if you do, use one. Pad your knees. It's a nice wood floor, but it is on cement, so that makes it a little bit harder. So we're going to come to our hands and knees. Another way to is you could, no, never mind, you need your mat. So you're going to have your hands, your knees underneath your hips. You just kneel on your mat. If you feel like you need some extra padding, there are more mats in there. Oops, sorry. Huh. How'd that happen? Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Wow, sorry. Does anybody know how to do that? Screen, general. Oh well, probably won't happen again. All right, so hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. And we just did the seated cat-cow. Now we're doing the hands and knees. So what we do is same thing with our hips. We'll tilt our pelvis forward, create that arch in your back, opening the anterior spine on the inhale. And then on the exhale, tilt your hips back and let that C curve come into the spine. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Yeah. And then just back and forth. You can close your eyes. Feel this in your spine. We have 4 curves, natural curves in our spine. The first one's our neck, our cervical spine. Then the thoracic, where all our ribs tie into our spine, our lumbar, and then that sacrum, where the hips connect with our spine. Not much curve in the thoracic or sacrum. A lot more mobility in the neck and lumbar, cervical and lumbar. Then come to neutral. This is our dog sequence, and this is the position for dog. This is dog, all 4s. Shavasana. So we're going to do a side dog. Take a breath in, and then step your right hand off the mat and turn and look to your back towards your right toes. And then inhale back to center. Step your left hand off and look back behind you, looking towards your left toes. Inhale back to center. Do it again to your right as you exhale. Getting that side bend. And inhale. And over to your left. And back. Let's do it one more time. Over to the right, looking behind you. And back to center. And over to your left. Good. So that's our side dog. We can do a one-legged dog, a three-legged dog. We're going to take one leg back, so we're on our hands in one leg, and one leg is back with the toes on the mat, pushing through your heel. And then let's float that foot up. Just float the leg up, keeping it parallel with the floor. This is a balance pose. This also strengthens your back. I invite you to take your gaze to look at your mat instead of lifting the head. That shortens the cervical spine, so you want to keep a straight, just a downward look with your eyes and your head, and then straighten that left arm out in front of you. Opposite, got the right leg up, the left arm out. Balance. You probably feel your body immediately going, whoa, okay. And breathe. And then we'll set our left hand down, set our right knee down, and we'll extend the left leg back. First, start with your toes on the mat, just to give a little stretch for the ankle and the calf muscles. And then shift your weight forward so you can float your left leg up. And then we'll extend the right arm. Look down at your mat. You're giving balance, your left hand's being support, your right knee is being support. Breathing. It's okay to wobble, to move. It's your body finding its balance. And then we'll set our right hand down, left knee down. Very good. Now the next move is going to be a twisting, a revolve for the shoulders. So we take our knees wide apart. So this is going to give our stability for our legs. And then turn your right hand from your mat, slide it out to the edge, and then turn it about 45 degrees. Yep. So not quite a 90, but about like your middle fingers pointing to the left corner of your mat. Then we will take our left hand and place it open up towards our face. So the right hand is on your mat, turning towards the left. Your right hand is turning to the left. Turn your right hand to the left. There you go. Palm up. Inhale, raise the left arm up, looking towards your left. As you exhale, bend the right elbow and thread your left arm underneath. Bring your shoulder down, your head down. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, thread your left arm underneath that right arm and bring your head down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, thread under. Good. Inhale, back up. This time we're going to come down. We're going to bring the shoulder down, the head down. Hips are up. You've got a good position there. Legs, feet are back, pushing into the mat. Now your right arm. 2 options, variations. You can stretch it up towards the ceiling and wrap it around your back, towards finding your left hip, or stretch it out to the front end of your mat. Just walk it out. So there's 2 different Variations, you're either getting a side stretch or a twist. So you want to find what's going to serve you. The twist for me is what helps me get into my back of my shoulders, the rhomboids. And then let's bring that right hand back towards your face. Push yourself back up. And we'll do the other side. So we take that left hand to the edge of your mat, leave it on the mat, and turn it in to about 45. Like the right hand. And inhale, raise up. Exhale, thread your right arm under. Bend the elbow, bring your head down. Inhale, come up. So that left elbow's got to bend deeply so you can get the head down. Good. And then inhale, up. We'll go a couple more times just with the movement first. Just warms up our shoulders. Good. And we turn our head. As you finally thread that right arm underneath, turn your gaze to the left, sort of looking down towards your right hand. Right palm is up. So we're all going to the left. Yep. And then, here we go. And breathe. So now hold it down there. Just go down. Yeah. Beautiful. You might be getting some new moves for your arms, your body, your shoulders. So come back up, bring that left hand by your face. One more here is slide your left hand to the right underneath your face. Reach the right arm out. So let's start. The palm is facing down, okay? And just turn the hand to face back towards the mirror behind you. Yep. And then continue to turn it up. And then set your back of your hand on the small of your back. We call that the sacrum. And as you inhale, push away from the mat and twist and look over your right shoulder. Exhale, look back at your left hand. Inhale, turn and let the body go first and then take the head. So think about moving from the hips and the ribs and the shoulder and the head. And back down. Let's go one more time. Open up. And down. So let's take that right hand where the left hand was. Extend your left arm. Turn the palm back towards the mirror and then continue it up. Set the back of the hand on your sacrum. Inhale, open up. Exhale, back at your hand. And again. Let's do that 2 more times. Opening up on your inhale. Good. And one more time. Nice. And release your left hand. Okay, let's come up onto our knees. And this is the opportunity for you now. If you have socks on, I invite you to take them off because we're going to do some moves where we need some traction with our feet. Okay. A lot of walking in New York this week. My ankle's a little tired. Man, you cannot be have any joint issues in New York City if you, legs, your knees, your feet, your ankles, your hips. There's so much stairs, and I mean, I love it, but it's like, you know, it's not for anybody that has any kind of physical stress. Okay, so this, I want to show you, this is our dog flow, Shvana, Vinyasa. Shvana means dog. So you've probably have heard people, some teachers will speak a little Sanskrit in class. You've heard maybe the word, the term, most people know the pose, downward facing dog. Looks like a triangle, right? Adho, downward, mukha, face, Shvana, Shvanasana. Shvana is dog. Right? Yep. So we're all going to we're going to do that at the end. called Shavasana. Yay! Oh, we didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. Aw. There it is. There it is. Perfect. You saw that? On cue. I love it. Thank you, Cooper. Okay, now let's get the up dog in there. Was that perfect? Oh, I don't think you caught it on camera, but we just had a dog do down dog just for us. Okay, so that's how it looks. So there are, in this sequence, I never could have made that happen. That was perfect, Scott. So in this sequence, there are, first pose is dog. Then there's a pose called pose of a child, or in this sequence, I call it puppy. So you turn your toes under, and you just set your hips back, sort of. You can take them to your heels if they'll go, but just sit back towards your heels. They don't have to touch. And then you come back to your dog. Then, I'm going to turn sideways, so you stay the direction you are. Then you lift your knees, and you come into that pose that Cooper just did. It's called downward facing dog. Good. Then we'll come back to dog, which brings your knees back to the blank mat. The first go around, because I want you to see how this works. And then you'll bring your hips forward, keeping the arms straight. The arms do not bend through this sequence at all. And we come into what's called upward facing dog. Nice. Then you move your hips back and go back into your downward facing dogs. And then you bring your knees to the blanket and you sit back into puppy or pose of a child. Good. So those are the poses, the asanas that are in the sequence. And your breath goes with links with each pose. So when we're in dog, I'd like you to take a breath in. Then when you sit back towards pose of a child, it's a flexion, so you exhale. Then you inhale, come back to all fours to dog. Then we exhale, go into downward facing dog. And then we come forward on the inhale into up dog and let the knees come to the mat. Let the thighs go down, let the heart lift, chest lift, shoulders away from the ears. Nice. And then exhale, down dog. Inhale, knees to the blanket, or to the mat, sorry. And exhale, pose of a child. Okay, you just did one round. And you can vary it, come back up to all fours. By skipping, I want you to be your own master of your mat, so that we can take it downward facing dog. And then on your next inhale, you choose. Put the knees down or leave them up and just sweep through into up dog. And then back into down dog. No bending of the elbows. We're not doing Chaturanga Dandasana. That's not in this sequence. Bring your knees down. And exhale, sit back on your heels. Good. Let's keep going. Inhale. Shvana. Exhale. Adho Mukha Svanasana. That's downward dog. Inhale, upward facing dog. Heart lifts. Good. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, dog. And sit back. And again, inhale, you're doing a vinyasa. Exhale. Inhale, knees to the mat if that's the variation you want to do, or skip the knees down and lift up. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, dog. Exhale, pose of a child. Let's go through it one more time. Inhale, Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, Urdhva means upward. Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Svanasana. And then Balasana. Pose of a child. Here we go. Good job. All right, so let's come up to standing. So all standing poses originate from the first of them, called mountain pose, Tadasana. So we'll stand with our feet. I like to teach this so we have a good foundation, more stability. With your feet fist width apart. Like, make a fist and put it between your big toes. Yeah. And then keep them parallel like that. Sometimes throughout the practice, you might have a tendency, and it's just habit, turning one foot out, turning one foot in. Just remind yourself to come back to fist width apart. So then I'd invite you to take a gaze. I feel like we're staring right at each other here, Dana. I'm going to go over here a little bit. All right, so you can see past me. But now okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to stand in Tadasana. What's that?
Whenever I was looking, I would just start.
Looking at my logo. Yeah. AYC. It also reminds me of, I love when I go like this, I always just like saying, yes to the world. Yes, it's me. And just channel that energy. So we're standing in Tadasana. And I want you to look straight ahead. Close, and then close your eyes. And just at first rock from foot to foot, side to side. And feel your legs, feel your feet. We all have a habitual way of standing. And sometimes it's weight into one leg more than the other. Sometimes it's more back into the heels. Might be into the toes. Might be 1 foot pigeon toe, 1 or 2 duck feet turned out. Just notice, there's no judgment, just how your legs are working. Then everybody just slightly bend your knees. Okay, that shifts things deeper into your feet. And then with your knees bent, raise your toes. Good. So we're raising our toes. Now you're pushing into the ball of your foot and into the heel. And as you raise your toes, that raises your inner arches. And then you keep the arches raised and just lower your toes back down. Might be a little challenging. But keep the inner arches lifted. So lower the toes, yeah. And remind yourself to let the toes relax. So sometimes we scrunch our feet like we're trying to pick up a straw or something. Let them relax. And then put a lot of weight into your right leg. Just shift your weight all the way so you feel that pressure in the foot, the ankle, the knee, the thigh, the hip. And then shift back and put all the weight into your left leg. So just go back and forth a little bit like that. Right leg, left leg. You can straighten when I encourage you to keep your knees soft, you can straighten the legs, but I want you to avoid locking your legs. Locking is pushing the knees back. It's a habitual thing we do, and over time can stress out your knees. Good. And then come to neutral. And then shift your weight into your toes and back into your heels. And it's okay as you go in the heels if your toes come up, rocking forward and back. Just notice how your body, where it catches you. Yeah. Good. And now come to neutral and see if you've got, okay, I've got myself right leg, left leg, front, back. And then imagine, and place your hand on top of your head, one left or right hand. And just imagine you could push your head up into your hand. Not raise the chin to do it, but from that internal lift. Yeah. So everybody in here just grew about 1/2 inch, or at least 1/4 inch. So think about that. So keep that lengthening in your torso and let your head come down. Your hand come down. Yeah. Beautiful. You are in Tadasana. Tada means mountain, so mountain pose. It also has a name called Samastiti, means to be ready to begin your practice. So this next sequence is called the Moon Salutation, and I will lead you through it. It moves your body in your spine again in 6 natural directions, and you don't have to move your feet. So you could do this at the airport, you know, you have your shoes on. It's really a cool sequence. All right, so we're inhale, take the arms up. On your next exhale, let the right hand come down and go over to your side. So we're moving the spine in that side direction. Very good. Inhale back up. And exhale over to your left. Inhale back up. Then we add a twist. So let the arms come into a T and reach out and look behind you towards the mirror. And then inhale, come up. And exhale, twist to your left. These are all VariYoga sequences. It's called the Moon Salutation, Chandra, Namaskar. And then we'll do a little back bend. Bend the elbows and tip back like you're saying yes to the world. And then inhale, back up. We bend the knees, hinge at the hips, and take a swan dive, I call this, a forward bend, Uttanasana. And then we use the power of the legs, keep the knees bent, and come up halfway with a flat back. Arms can go into a T. Then exhale, come down. You can leave your left fingertips on the mat, bend the left knee deeply, and straighten the right leg, and twist the right arm, sweep it up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, come back down, put the right hand where the left hand was in the middle, and sweep up to the left. That's a twist. Exhale back down. Keep the legs, knees bent, use the power of the legs, and come back up as you inhale to Tadasana. Go again, exhale. And back up. And exhale to your left. Inhale. Twist right. Inhale. And twist left. And back up. And bend the elbows and reach back. Very nice. Inhale, back up. Bend those knees, hinge right at your hips, and fold forward, keeping a flat back. Inhale, come halfway up. And exhale. Let the left hand be on the mat. Bend the left knee, straighten the right leg, and twist and open to your right. Exhale, come down. We sweep that left arm up as we straighten that left leg and bend the right, and then come back down. Let's come all the way back up. We'll do it through one more time. So we side bend, our Parshva side in Sanskrit, and inhale. Exhale to your left. Beautiful, and up. And then twist right. And come back to center. Twist left. And back to center. Bend the elbows, tip back. Nice full back bend, and then inhale. Bend the knees, hinge at the hips. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Sweep that right arm up, twisting to your right. Beautiful. Exhale, bring yourself down. And then we twist open to the left. And back down. And we come all the way up. Bring your hands together and overhead and down to your heart center. Nice. So that's a wonderful sequence you can start to learn to do. Move your body in 6 natural directions. So now we're going to do one that is a little bit more about agility and awareness. So what I want you to do is, okay, parts of the sequence are what we call a cross crawl. So we're moving, this way with our legs and arms. So I want you to lift up your right knee and tap it with your left hand. There you go. Lift up your left knee and tap it with your right hand. Okay. We're going to do that like 10 times, okay? And when you do it, when the opposite, so here's your left hand touching your right knee, raise the right arm up higher. It gives you better balance instead of having it down low. So if I'm cross-crawling, I'll be like this. You'll see me doing this, okay? Now the fun part is we transfer from tapping our knees to tapping our feet behind us. Ooh. So arms out, and you're going to start with your right foot tapping your right heel with your left hand. Good. It gets easier, trust me. Because your brain's going, what? I never do this. No, you don't. But it's really good training for your body, your balance, your brain. Okay, so let's do, and again, see how I raise my arm, opposite, opposite. Just say hi to those people. Okay, you got it? Yep. Oops. Maybe on the, because the mat, you might do it on the floor so you don't trip and fall. Okay, good. You got it. Okay, so it's a sequence that we're going to do, but I just want you to get that feeling. So I call this my, I lived in Hawaii for a long time, and I was visiting there a couple years ago, and I was outside, and I didn't want to do all this stuff with my head down, so I created this so I could look at the stars, and so I created this sequence. Sometimes that's how they get created. A lot of the sequences that are out there now are new. They aren't thousands of years old. Okay, so let me change the music to some Hawaiian music, since this is a Maui Wowie. It's just the name. It doesn't mean it relates to... Okay, let's see where's... No. Okay, no, that's not it. It's just the name. Okay. So this is slack key, kind of guitar music, Hawaiian. And this is called the Marchers, the Night Marchers. So you stand in the center of your mat, or on the floor, whichever is going to serve you best, yep. We start out with the arms reaching out, taking a big breath in. Oh. Then hug yourself, exhaling. Reach those hands around to the shoulder blades. And then inhale, reach up, and exhale again. See if you can cross the opposite arm. If you don't remember, it's okay. Inhale, take the arms apart. Here comes the knees tapping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now I didn't show you this part. Woo! Take the arms up. I know you can do it. Bend your knees and exhale. Squat down, sweep the arms behind you, and inhale, stand up. 4 more times. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Who's lost? I've lost count of 2 more. And up. And again. Okay, now the arms go wide again. And we give a hug. And the arms go overhead. And give another hug. Nice. Arms out, knee taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Arms up. And the knees. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Good. And again. That's 3. 2 more. And 1 more. Good. 1 more time through. Open and hug. Arms overhead and hug. Arms apart. Knee taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And exhale. And up. And again. That's it. 3 more times. Good. Release your arms. Close your eyes. Adjust your feet so they're in the Tadasana stance. Just feel yourself in space. Your heart rate is probably going up. Just Breathe, because I'm going to take you down to the floor for our final pose, Shavasana. So if you would make your way down to the floor, and on your backs, hug your knees into your chest. So some of you may and may not know what Shavasana means. It's the final pose of yoga, of asana practice. And it's the sort of like you're getting so still, you look like a corpse. And I don't mean that in a morbid way. It's a way of us taking moments in our day to just integrate with our bodies. So you can hug your knees in and do whatever stretch is calling for you, just to do something to get prepared for Shavasana. Lying on your backs, settling into this rest and digest, helping us tap into the parasympathetic nervous system. Here we go. You can close your eyes. Just feel your bodies releasing into the floor. It's a strong space. It's a supportive space. It's a safe space. So I invite you, I'm going to do a little talking of releasing meditation. I invite you to first become aware of your feet. You can move them if you want, but just notice from your big toe to your little toe. And the bottom of your feet and your heels. And give thanks to your feet. And then moving up to the ankles, into the calves and the shins, into your knees, up into your thighs. And just feel each leg become heavy and melt further into the floor. Give thanks to your legs. And then moving into your hips, the pelvis area. What's touching the floor, the back of your pelvis, your sacrum, your glutes. And moving up, relaxing there, relaxing the muscles. Then moving up your spine, through your ribs, your side body. Up into your shoulders. Letting the shoulders release, the arms. Hands can be by your side. You can put one hand on your heart, one on your belly, or arms overhead. You pick what's going to serve you to help you get to that place of letting go, releasing. Stay with the breath. Letting the arms relax all the way down from the shoulders to the elbows to the hands. Give thanks to your arms and hands. And then bring your awareness back to your upper shoulders, your neck, the back of your head, and how now everything is just releasing into the floor. Then I want you to imagine your mat is more like a cloud, a little cloud or a little magic carpet. And you can float a little bit. You can float up off this floor, maybe float out into the sunny day. Feel how light you can be. Maybe float way up and you're looking back down to Fayetteville, Northwest Arkansas. We've gone from having colorful leaves to now just having our beautiful branching of our trees. We can see the trees, we can see the mountains and the rivers, the lakes. invite you to slowly bring yourself, if you did go off on a floating trip, bring yourself slowly back into this space, feeling yourself in the room, on your mat, noticing your feet, your hands, and then start to deepen your breath, wiggling your toes, your hands, your fingers, stretching into your arms and legs. Hug your knees into your chest. And roll to one side. And then we'll come up to seated. Good. Welcome back. I said in my last week's class, you know, I taught the men's basketball team yoga for years, and they got so into Shavasana. They would just come through the door. I did it at the Bud Walton Arena and then also at their training grounds, facilities. And they'd all come in, these, 16, 18 of them, the first thing out of their mouth, not about asana. Can we do Shavasana? Shavasana. I said, you got to work for it. Because they would go into Shavasana, and I'd have to go around and wake them up. It was like they were out, I'd have to shake their legs. I'd have to come on, guys. I learned something in yoga, too, that I used to say, when you're ready, you can start to come back. I don't say that anymore, because nobody wants to come back. Nobody's ever ready to I'm really chilling here, All right, so we close with the sounding of 3 ohms, and what I'd like to do is the ohm will be in what's called this type of breathing called Pranayama, and it's a Brahmari breath. Brahmari means big B. So it's basically you're just going to hum. Instead of opening your mouth and going, you're going to go, Okay, so it's just a hum, and we'll do it 3 times. So let's take a deep breath in, then an exhale, and then another breath in, and we'll begin. Your hands together in front of your heart, the gesture of Anjali Mudra, the mudra of honoring and offering. I'm honored that you're all here and you take time for yourselves, for your bodies, for your minds, for your spirits. And may the energy of the universe bring you each wonder, joy, wisdom, peace, love, forgiveness into your lives each day. From my heart to each of yours, namaste. Now go have a good day. Namaste and go away.